Hello again. Welcome to David Wand Statistics Tutoring. I'm your statistics tutor, David Wand, and in this short video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. As you might have noticed, I have another video that explains how to use your formula sheet to pass statistics. In this short video, I'm going to give you a little hint of something that's even more important that you need to add to your formula sheet, edit your formula sheet to make sure that you pass your statistics course, and I was showing you that in my tutoring program. So as you know, there's over 25 formulas in your statistics course, and part of the challenge is figuring out which of the four curves, right, Z, T, chi-squared, or F, to select to solve a statistics problem. And then once you've got that right, you have to figure out which formula, because there's several formulas that fall under each of those curves. So you can still get the problem wrong if you choose the wrong formula. And the challenge is some professors will say, sorry, guy, sorry, gal, you cannot use your own formula sheet. You have to use my formula sheet. And it may be missing the degrees of freedom, the formula for the degrees of freedom, which is what falls under the T curve, the chi-squared curve, and the F curve. So you need that additional information, formula for the degrees of freedom. And that will vary depending on the statistics problem that you're given. So I'm just doing this from memory. For example, if you figured out correctly that you have to use the T curve, you go to your T formula curve, you'll notice there's several degrees of freedom that fall under the T curve. If it's only one sample, you're drawing from one population, then the degrees of freedom is the size of the sample, little n, minus 1. Don't ask me why. Good news is you're not majoring in math. Who cares? You just use n minus 1. But if you're drawing samples, plural, from two populations, and you figured out it's the T curve based on a good formula sheet that you've designed with my help in my tutoring program, hopefully, then the degrees of freedom usually is, but not always, again, it depends, but usually it's n1 plus n2 minus 2, size of the sample from first population plus the size of the sample you drew from the second population. Add those together, minus 2. You do not know, you do not have to know why. It's on your formula sheet, so you just use it. The challenge is, which formula do you use? Which curve do you use for which problem? And my tutoring program will help you figure that out. And in fact, I will give you my specially designed formula sheet that I've been using since 1995, and I've been revising because I figured out that students need this new information, degrees of freedom formula. So like I said before, if you want to sign up for my tutoring program, I have two. I have two 1-hour tutoring sessions per week over 12 weeks, which is ideal for the student that needs regular tutoring from the beginning of their stats course to the final exam. And it's good. All of my students have taken it have passed, even those students who failed and then took my tutoring program and then passed. Or if you want something a little bit more condensed, I have a 12-hour tutoring program, and you can decide what day and time you want for those tutoring sessions online. And it's condensed, so those are your two choices. Feel free to give me a call at that number, or you can send me an email. And I look forward to hearing from you. And ask your professor if you are required to use only your professor's formula sheet in an exam. Ask your professor if he's willing to add the formulas for the degrees of freedom, because my experience is that most formula sheets are missing the formula for the degrees of freedom for the T curve, the chi-squared curve, and the F curve. Good luck. Hope to hear from you. Bye for now.